Welcome to The Pivot, stories of people who made a change. My name is Andrew Osenga, and my guest today is Tim Timmons. Tim is a dear friend. He is a singer-songwriter, now an author. He's a podcaster. He's a pastor. And he's now the subject of a movie. I can only imagine, too, the sequel to the big Mercy Me movie. Like half of it is about Tim and his story of his cancer and writing this big hit song for Mercy Me. It's pretty wild. We're going to get into some of that, although honestly, he's been giving so many interviews about that I tried to talk to him about the experience that he's going through right now with all of this hullabaloo of having his life be turned into a movie rather than talk about the movie itself. So it was fun to get to sort of unpack that friend to friend. What's it like to go through an experience like this, especially when you're a guy like Tim? And if you don't know what that means, you're about to find out. This is my conversation with Tim Timmons. Tim Timmons, you're my second guest on The Pivot ever.
I love that. I will take that. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
My first second interview, which means we get to do.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Who was your second interview?
No, I'm saying you're the first person who's come on twice.
Oh, now I get it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
At first I was hurt. I was like, so who's this other Yahoo that you had on there? Because that guy's a jerk. Girl's a jerk.
Yeah. No.
I love
because
this.
you were on like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Which means we're not doing the backstory. We're going in deep. We're just starting.
Yeah.
We're jumping in at 10,000 feet, 10,000 minutes,
sure.
if you will.
10,000 minutes of this at 10,000 feet with no, we're doing great.
Oh goodness, I'm so glad to see you. You're a busy man. You've been doing a lot of interviews.
I have. I'm doing a lot of interviews, and how fun.
How many interviews do you think you've done in the past 4 months?
There's no way of knowing. I have no clue. This is number 3 today, but this is like light. This is light. Yeah, I was having, I don't know, there are a bunch every day, and it's been so cool. I mean, honestly, it's been such a gift. This is so fleeting. These moments are so fleeting. Like Tim Timmons, who in like a year, it's like, who's that bald guy? Whatever. So I'm just enjoying the moments. Not that Tim Timmons is awesome, because Tim Timmons is he's fine. I like me a lot, but it's not. I'm not excited because, man, I get the limelight. I get to say really cool things in the world these days. And even if I just have it for the moment and just the fleeting moments that I get to speak into the world, man, I'll take it.
That's really cool. Well, my goal is to talk about some things with you today that maybe you haven't talked about 800 times in the last 3 months. Because I figure you probably get asked the same 6 questions most of these interviews.
And it doesn't really matter because I get to hang out with you. So it's like everything is way better, which I'm so happy about. So this is like total success.
You're really kind. Well,
he's going to say, you're kind too many times, people, because I'm actually not kind. I say it to him all the time. Like, I'm not kind. I will just tell you the truth. And the truth happens to be really great about you. So let's go. Not kind. Good looking, but not kind.
Are there things you want to talk about today that you haven't been able to talk about a lot these days?
No. I mean, you know me, dude. I'm a pretty open book, and when people ask me questions, I generally get to a place that I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah.
And so I haven't left much on the table. I mean, it's interesting. I did today in Nashville. Like the mainstream, the TV, whatever news thing, and it's such a different audience to talk to people who are not Jesus people, just a mainstream audience. Like, how do you talk about my ex and Jesus, and then you talk to really Christian-y outlets that I'm like, okay, here we go, giddy up, people. I'm going to throw some rocks, and it's going to be awesome. And then I get to do fun things like this with you. So I'm just enjoying everywhere I am.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about your book. You and Hillary wrote a book together, which I think is so fun.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was,
I've said this a few times that if you
yeah.
try to get us to write a song, like you'd need a divorce lawyer or something, that just does not go well in this room with my wife. Like, hey, babe, I think what if we? Will you help me with a song? She's like, it is not our best moments.
Yeah,
Um,
I can
but this
understand that.
book
Yeah.
has been so much fun. Writing a book together with my wife. She's a crazy great writer,
Yeah.
and I've written blogs for years, and so she kind of took a bunch of those things, and we just started like exploring different things that we've seen in our story and our journey on this way of Jesus. And I'm not always a huge advocate of more content for Christian people. I don't think we need more content, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think we need more songs. I mean, I love it, but I don't know how many of those we need that aren't inviting us into actually like practicing this stuff. Like we're so good in content, but we're so anemic in our practice. And I've been so anemic in my practice, and I just want to put stuff out in the world that is helping people practice this heart of Jesus and get disrupted by Jesus. And so we just wrote a book called Waking Up Again that hopefully is inviting people into just intentionally waking up. Like we
Hmm.
wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we get out of bed. I hope well, it depends on the order on that. Then you eat breakfast, just however you do. And then we go through our day, then we brush our teeth, we go back to bed. And it's just this thing that we do over and over and over. And very few of us are really intentional about it. And I think the more that I'm trying to just practice being intentional about it, my life becomes more beautiful. So this book is helping people through that. It's really funny, I think. There's some funny parts and some really heartfelt, honest parts. And so, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
great.
What was the process of writing with Hillary? Like, how did you guys do this? Like, what did you
Yeah,
would
we'd
you kind
make
of write
out.
things?
We'd have like
Yeah.
a regimen of just,
Great.
French
Yeah.
kissing for a while.
Yeah.
No, that never happened during this book. Um, yeah, no, we did it really quick. And uh, yeah, I think we had like 6 months to write the book.
It's not a lot of
And
time.
so we just started looking into all the things that we'd had been talking about for a while and just started writing the thing. And it was so much fun, so much work, as you know, and so much fun.
Hmm.
So I'm really, really proud of this book. It's been so fun. I'm on the road right now and um, selling these every night, and now just hearing people talk about it and what they're learning from it. And dude, what an honor! How cool is that? You know that.
Man, that's so cool. Okay, so we've already talked about this a little bit, but you're in like one of the busiest seasons of your life. Like I've seen you a few times over the past few months, and it just seems like, oh my gosh, this dude is nonstop from the second he wakes up to the second he goes to bed. And I feel like that would be a lot if you were 23 years old and, not talking out of school here, but you're not 23 anymore.
Yeah, I'm 28. It's like we've
Yeah.
gotten all the way to.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
how do you handle a busy season like this when you're a dad, your husband, you've got other responsibilities, and all of a sudden you get sort of thrust into this season that was, I know, kind of unexpected.
yeah,
How do you
yeah.
process sort of the
I don't know.
busyness?
I don't know. I'll let you know in a year and go, man, here's where I did that great. Here's where I did that poorly. I hurt people's feelings more now than I ever have. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm totally okay with it in a really weird way. In that I not hurt people, I disappoint people.
Hmm.
I've got 3 jobs, so I'm always feeling like I'm disappointing people because my kids will always come first, always. And so some of my mentors, and I call them aimers, um, people who have aimed me to be who God created me to be. None of them made me be like them, but it's like they've kind of aimed me in this direction, saying, Tim, this is what I see in your life. And
Hmm.
some of the aimers in my life did that. I mean, really kind of some like big time people, but just disappointed people because you'd call them and you're like, I'd love a call back, but they're hanging with their family. Like when they're there, they're there. And I really have tried to take a lot of wisdom from that. Um, Yeah, and I think again, like I said in the very beginning, this is just so fleeting. So
Yeah.
whatever moments I get to join Jesus in cool things, then I'm taking them. Unless it does something bad to my family or something like that, or financially doesn't make sense for us anymore to do that. So yeah, I don't know. We're doing. I have enough strength for today, and I'm just trying to live with enough strength for today. And tomorrow, if I get to wake up again, then as I join Jesus, I don't have to do anything for him. I think that's like, honestly, it's so cliche. And, you've known me long enough to know that I say that all the freaking time. Just join Jesus. Don't work for him. Just join him. And it's so much more fun to join him. Like, if I need rest, I can rest. It's not me driving things anymore. So that's been like a gift to the soul.
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
that, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet. Did it kind of come on suddenly? Like, did you expect this? Did it come out of
Um,
nowhere?
everybody was, I mean, we've known this movie was going to be happening. I mean, I guess a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
But people would say, "Hey, it's going to get crazy." I'm like, okay, whatever. My life's already crazy. And nobody's really going to care about Tim Timmons either. Like, because that's kind of the way that I see the world. And even writing a book that seems like a biography is like so funny to Hillary and I. 'Cause we're like, we just don't think we're that awesome or interesting. Um, but that's why I love this book because I think it uses those stories to then invite people into something bigger. That is why I get to wake up. So yeah, I don't know what your question was, but I nailed it.
Perfect. Perfect. Uh, well, Tim, your health has obviously been like a huge, huge part of your story, and it's how a lot of people I think have kind of been introduced to you as um, and it you know cancer has in the past few years been a big part of our family's story now, and um, you have been really encouraging to me in that. And I think, you were one of my first calls when we found out about my wife. And I just know, oh, there's somebody I can call who knows what we're going through,
Yeah, yeah,
And um, I know that you've been that for a lot of people, personally, but also you're that to a lot of people who listen to your music. And I can just imagine sort of the conversations you've had after shows or what people have just gotten from your lyrics. But I also know that you are active in lots of different ways, really intentionally with retreats and different things like that. Like, how do you view the interaction between this disease that you've
mm.
been handed and this platform that you've also been handed?
How do I view the
Like the interaction, like the fact that you've been given both of these things,
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
blessing and this curse, whichever is, some are, however you view those things,
yeah,
the
yeah,
interaction of the two. It's a really unique combination. And I feel like
yeah,
you handle them in a really unique way.
yeah. I think early on, I've probably shared this with you. Um, Early on, at some point, somebody said to me, and I was probably 22, and I was just working youth ministry with Hillary and I were working in a youth ministry at a church, and um, I don't know, maybe it was 21. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Uh, Somebody said to me, they said, Tim, um, some people for the kingdom are scalpels. Some people are little scissors. Some people are big scissors. Some people are axes for the kingdom of God, like to do good work for the kingdom of God. And some people are chainsaws. And he said, Tim, you're a chainsaw.
Huh.
And at that point, I was like, cool. Okay, God, what are we gonna do? I can do cool things for you. Like you've given me a cool personality, and I like people, and people like me, and it began this really dangerous long stint of me working for God. It's why I'm so adamant about the word for and with.
Yeah.
Um, I worked for him for so many years because I was a freaking chainsaw. Like God was going to use me in really cool, big ways for His kingdom's sake, and uh, I got to be a part of it. And in doing so, I built like a little suburb, little like Timmons suburb within the kingdom of God,
Hmm.
like where I've got a little gated community here, and it was awesome. I was killing. I was huge in all the the biggest churches that I knew of. And I was doing stuff there, and I think it just at some point I was like, this is exhausting me. Like trying to work for God for so long is literally killing me. Trying to be a chainsaw is killing me. So Hillary was really instrumental in kind of going, dude, you got to stop this math in a sense. Like my
Hmm.
math is so um, working for God oriented. It's really contingent upon what cool things I do for God and how many people are like being encouraged by my life. And so it became like, I mean, it's kind of why I started writing X in a lot of ways. Like, I was just done trying to build my kingdom and be awesome. Like, maybe God knows what's best for his kingdom. I surely do not. So, Tim, why don't you just take a deep breath for a little bit? And I even remember writing a song called, it was like originally called Barely Breathing, with Ali Dahlgren.
Yeah.
Uh, but then we ended up calling it Finally Breathing because it was like for the first time, I'd always just been like, short breaths, just working, 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 doing cool things for God.
Hmm.
To like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore. I'll be the dumb enough guy to just like experiment with what if he knows what's best. And I just join him. I just literally take deep breaths during my day because he woke me up again and I just join him. And so I think to answer the question, uh, the intersection between the two, the more that I've been able to practice this idea of like deep breathing, just, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but like in the rhythm of God and the rhythm of the kingdom
Yeah.
versus my kingdom and my little suburb I was building. Man, today I get to be on your podcast. Today I got to be on Good Morning Nashville, whatever that thing was. Tomorrow, if all this goes away, great. Like I don't hold the weight of this anymore. I don't have to. And
Yeah.
so am I a chainsaw? I might be a freaking chainsaw. Like that might have been some kind of prophecy. The problem was is then I just was like, cool, I guess I'm a chainsaw. So now I gotta work for God and he'll be stoked for me when this stuff happens. And then when that stuff wasn't fully happening to the size that I was thinking it should for him, I was totally disappointed. And ultimately, I think deep down, I felt like I was probably disappointing God in some way.
Hmm.
So the release of that has been the greatest gift of all, being like, well, if I'm a chainsaw, great today, but tomorrow, I don't know. I just get to hang out. Like, what cool things is he doing? And just go there. Just be aware enough to do that and breathe deep and rest. So, yeah, I guess the intersection is become way more fun and way more fluid. That just
Yeah.
if it goes away tomorrow, it goes away tomorrow.
Yeah. Gosh, that
So
feels like a dangerous word to give a young man.
totally, it screwed me up royally. And yet it also, I think, began a process of breaking my kingdom down.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
taking down the walls that surrounded my little Timmons suburb in the kingdom of God and took down the gates and,
Hmm.
um, out some of the things that were like just helping me and began to break down those things, which I think is like one of the greatest gifts that sorrow gives us is it sobers us and gives
Hmm.
us a perspective that we've never had before. And do I love cancer? No, I've got other strong words for cancer.
I bet you do.
Um, and for all of our sakes, I have strong words for cancer, for diabetes, for heartbreak, for all the things. One of my best friends from home that we've been like womb buddies our whole life, he went on hospice yesterday.
Oh wow.
So
So sorry.
four of us just three guys were around his bed and I was just on FaceTime. I'm just so stupid. Cancer's so stupid. And yet, and this is a very wild place to get, and everybody has to get there in their own timing. I wouldn't trade this for anything because of who God is creating me to be, not created me to be, but who He is continuing to like shape me into this stupid thing. So I can hold grief and say, this is so stupid, and I do not like cancer. I blank cancer, right? That's just like what we say here. And holding the tension of, and you woke me up again. I don't know how these things work. Life is freaking hard, and you woke me up. And I just, all I can do is just join you in this place and keep making me a person that looks like you, Jesus, for the sake of my kids, for the sake of you, my friend, for the sake of my enemies. So, when I'm sober, and that's why I write this every day, because I'm not sober most of my time, not drunk
Hmm.
sober like alcohol, but like I get greedy, I want comfort. I get distracted by so many things. It's like, okay, Timmons, remember, it's not about your thing today. So,
That's an interesting use of the word sober.
yeah, I mean, think about it. Like every time I worry about something, which I'm a professional worrier, and I've been pretty addicted to worry most of my life, um, I'm taking a shot. Every
Hmm.
time, like, I
Wow.
see something I really want really bad, I'm just taking another shot. And when I start like going down that path, I'm just taking more shots of the alcohols, of the figurative alcohol.
Dude.
And I just get drunk. I'm just hammered. Whenever sorrow starts like creeping in, and it's got this like, Tim, you are so screwed right now. Like Hill and I are going, my wife and I are going through some hard things, not in our marriage, but just in our world around us right now, just in our tight world, that are so heavy. And I forget to trust the gods that work in all these things. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking shots of worry, of like contempt. When I see people on the internet, I'm like, screw that guy. That is the worst human ever. And every time I do that, I'm taking another shot. And I just get drunk on so many things. So whoever's listening, like, what are all the things that you're getting drunk on all day long? And we're not even fully aware that we're getting hammered, like totally hammered.
Wow.
But all of us are getting drunk in so many different ways. And my aim in life is to just live a little bit more sober today. Like I just want to practice sobriety. I mean, the whole recovery community is just it's genius. Just today, just deal with today. Practice sobriety today. Um, yeah. Again, I do not have this thing down, but I'm in the process, and it's really beautiful.
Hmm. And do you think that having this just this presence of cancer in your life, do you think that has helped you sort of come aware of some of these things? Like, are you?
Yes, sorrow does. Sorrow. That's all sorrow does. It gives us, I think, gives us the invitation into perspective. And I
Yeah,
can either choose it and give it the bird, or I can choose it and lean in.
yeah,
And I do both. I do both. So I've not figured this thing out, but I literally do both all the time. But I think it's always revealing an opportunity for us
yeah.
to live sober or live drunk. And I do both.
Sure, sure. Man, I heard this conversation, or I guess it was a reporter from the New York Times on a podcast maybe a month ago that was talking about one of the gifts of aging is that as you get older, eventually everyone you meet has suffered. But it was saying that when you're young, if you've gone through something really hard, that you might find yourself in a circle of people and you feel alone because maybe you've gone through grief and your
Mm,
friends haven't, and you feel alone. And like, but they're like, by the time you're 60, everybody's gone through a
yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And I thought that was a really interesting thing to hear from a New York Times reporter. This was not Henry Nouwen. That's just life wisdom, and I found that really profound. That is it's such a defining and a uniting thing. But we tend to try to hide from that so often
Yeah.
from
From
ourselves and
sorrow.
from others. Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
but
Total. I mean, my whole life is trying to get out away from that stuff.
it's such a doorway in some ways to
Yeah,
this deeper life
yeah,
and to to the sobriety that you're talking about and to clarity.
Yeah. I write about it in our book. Don't worry about that statement. Um,
Available now at barnesandnoble.com.
I write about it right here in this book right here. Um, but I won't go into this whole story because it's long. But
We have
I
time.
was teaching. I was teaching at our church community. They wanted me to teach the weekend after Christmas, which is the kiss of death.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like all the kids are in there, adults, you've got to like talk to, it's just terrible. It's like, hey, will you do announcements and sing and preach and maybe even do the like parking lot would be really great if you could do that.
Because everybody
And the
else is on
bathroom's stopped up.
vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, D-bag Timmons, that guy will do it. And so I was teaching on the four soils of the heart and how, Jesus, the parable of Jesus talking about, throwing seed on these four different soils. And the soils isn't like I'm going to heaven or not. It's like the condition of the heart, that what
Hmm.
is revealed in the heart, whether it's hardened or, thorny. I mean, just all these things.
Wow.
And I was looking up soil, and so I'm like, I want to be healthy soil, and I want to invite our church community to like just start being curious about what healthy soil looks like. And so, as I was looking up healthy soil, and obviously I'm not an agricultural wizard, you know. I mean, looking at me, you're like, dang it, like a strong and yoked. So I'm sure he works in the fields, but that's not been my thing. And so I looked up uh, soil, healthy soil, and every time it would kept coming back to manure. I was like,
Huh.
okay, cool. I mean, manure happens. That's a funny bit. And I started looking at the definition of manure. Here's the definition of manure. First one was manure is the softening agent for hardened soil.
Okay. All right.
Just think about that. So if soil is
Okay.
the heart,
Yep.
manure, of life, is the softening agent to harden soil. So the soil needs like stuff, and it use the stuff like actually um, it ignites softening into hardened soil. The second definition of manure was um, it is the agent that holds all the nutrients to the base of the plant. So when the like
What?
wind and the storm and the water comes and everything, without this manure that literally smells and is nasty and all the things, it is what is holding like the nutrients to the base of this plant.
You're kidding.
I just was like, oh my gosh, guys, my whole life is trying to get away from that smell. I hate stuff that smells. Like every part of me wants to get away from the stuff of life. And yet, what if manure is the softening agent for hardened soil? And it's the thing that holds the nutrients of the plant together because without it, we are, I don't know, we're not held together. I mean, it's just this crazy,
That's
profound
crazy.
idea of manure. So it's not like we're starting to pray, God, bring more stuff into my life. No, it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're 60, you will know that for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just, and my dad always says, wait a week. If it's not here right now, it's coming. And I just, I don't invite or what I ask for calamity so I can grow. It's like it's coming. But how then, when it happens, how do I see the manure and go, man, that stuff stinks? That is like, I'm not a fan of this. Yet, gotta do cool things like grow this branch, grow fruit from this branch,
Hmm.
to go John 15 on us.
Yeah.
It's just like if that is my one vocation, I have one vocation apparently. It's just to stay attached, and that we collectively would be staying attached to the vine. Dude, what could happen? I mean, this dude, you live this. You are. I love you so much. I've told you this too many times to your face, but I'll just say it publicly. I love you so much. I'm so impressed by you. Always encouraged by you. I just want to be a better man because you're such a great man. And that is like the gift, though, right? That we would be people who are both like a whole garden of a bunch of branches attached to the vine that fruit is coming out of
Hmm.
because there's manure. The manure is like done what manure does. And God uses this stuff to then make us into these people that are like dangerous in a most beautiful way. Like, man, stories I'm hearing every night on this tour just will break you in half.
Hmm.
And yet, life's hard. and God woke us up again. What are your options? Saying screw you, God, or I'll do this on my own. Or like, what if he knows what's best? He's like, I will walk with you through the crap. I will cry with my friends because their best friend died. I will literally sit here and cry and grieve with you because this is so stupid. This was not how I intended it. This is not Genesis 1 and 2. Yet I'm going to walk with you through this stuff. Like that is just such a beautiful picture of the goodness of God. And if it's just us getting into heaven, man, screw that. I'm like, I just don't think that's a whole picture. Like, just that much of the picture of the goodness of salvation is like this
Hmm.
bigger picture. Oh, it's so much more fun.
Hmm.
So living soberly with that in the midst of the stuff, it's like this totally sucks. I hate what's going on in your life and all these people's lives in my life. And it's not but, because this word but people put right here, like how many
Yeah, yeah,
times
yeah,
people
yeah,
say, you
yeah,
know what?
yeah,
Life's
yeah.
so hard, but I'm so sorry for what you're going through. But God's good. And I literally want to give him the street bird right there, just going, it just, that does not work. Like, that is not even biblical. It's life is hard and God's at work in all these things. And holding the tension of these two, for me,
Hmm.
is bringing fruit, I feel like I have more fruit of the spirit than I've ever had. That's not a flex. That's just like, man, once I stop working for them and I just start hanging out with them and trying to join them and live soberly with them, man, I just become more beautiful.
Hmm.
So, so as many days as he wants to give me and with that perspective and keep reminding me every day as I write this dang X on my wrist, like, Jesus, he got me up again, sober me up today. Gosh, I got so drunk yesterday. I don't want to live that. Dude, it's just way too cool. And you live that already. And I just think I get excited if the more Jesus people that start to join him and look like him, man, I can't even freaking wait.
Man, that's beautiful. Well, okay, you just mentioned that you have a few jobs.
Yeah,
You sort of blew by it, but
yeah,
you don't talk about this very often publicly. But you do kind of you work at your church. Do you still work at
hmm
your church?
yeah,
You've
yeah.
been there,
So this
like
morning,
you've worked there for a long time.
yeah,
And I feel like
nine
that
years, I
role
think.
has evolved. You've done different things there over the years. What
Yeah,
what what does that look like for you? Why did you do that in the first place? And like what does that role mean to you?
yeah. So when I left, Hiller and I, we were part of these large churches in California, and not their fault. It was just our fault that we just didn't. I don't know. We got worn out working for God, doing all that stuff like you do in big
Yeah.
church things, and we left there, and it was like, number one, hell no, are we ever working at anything like this again? Like that would never happen. So some friends that I was always a part of a church called Journey Church here. Every time I travel here since like 2007 or something, and we moved to Nashville and started hanging out in this community and going, dang, they're so great. And they said, would you want to come on staff? I'm like, let me say it one more time. Hell to the no. And it took 6 months of them asking me to come hang out. And then so my second job, or I don't know which number,
Yeah.
one of my other job is called 10,000 Minutes. So
Yeah.
it's a nonprofit that I get to run. And that's what I care probably most about of all of them. And they said, why don't you be the 10,000 minute pastor here? I'm like, oh my gosh, you jerks. They knew they had me. So we just tried a 6 month trial, and then 9 years in, I'm part time. Um, and this community, it's just been such an interesting group of people. It's a bunch of pastors and people that have all done church and killed at doing church. I mean, like varsity level. And none of us want to do it ever again. Like we're all so done with doing it. So how do we just be it with people
Hmm.
that believe all the different things? We got people that believe this stuff, and we're like, okay, how do we be the church together instead of
Hmm.
just being this one uh, group of people that only believe this one way about politics or all the things? So it has become this crazy healing place for Hillary and I and so many people in our community. And Man, it is not a big church. It's not like what we're doing is we've got this 5 year plan. We do not have a 5 year plan. We barely have 6 month plan. Um, and it's just we're just trying stuff and enjoying it. So it's been really great for our souls.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, what do you do there now? Like, what does that look like on a weekly,
I'm kind
monthly
of the
basis
worship
for you?
pastor, just music
Yeah.
guy there, and which I never wanted to do again. It's kind of what I do for a living in some ways. And to be honest, I care more about so there are 10,080 minutes in a week.
Yep.
80 of those minutes are spent in a church gathering ish, and there are 10,000 other minutes. And I just have kind of vowed my life to be about the 10,000 minutes versus just the 80. So it's kind of funny to have a worship pastor, music pastor guy who doesn't really even really love it that much. Um, I love the people a lot, and I want us to sing songs that are part of a revolution of the way of Jesus. Um, and so I'm probably a little different than most. I mean, all worship people are interesting and different, but um, yeah, songs are hard to find these days because they're, as you know, and we've talked about it a million times. Um, yeah, just yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, it's been a really great thing for us to be there, and I get to be part of a community. So when I'm writing a song, I have faces in mind as I'm writing a certain prayer for the church to pray. I don't love just writing Christian songs for Christian song's sake anymore. I want songs that like invite the church to look like Jesus. You know, like disrupts us and invites us. So yeah,
Yeah. I love that when we have written together, how often you are focused on writing for specific, even people in your church community. Like you've
yeah,
mentioned that a number of times. Like, no,
yeah,
I'm kind of writing this for these people. We're going
yeah,
through this right now, or this is kind of what we need. Um, as opposed to, I'm trying to get this on K Love. I'm trying to get this to be a number one hit. Like, no, we need this for those people that sit in the third row. This is for
yeah,
them two Sundays from now. Like,
yeah.
oh, that's such a beautiful use of your gift. I love that. So
Yeah, and
powerful.
each of us brings something. Like, how cool is that? If the body thing is actually real, then my little toe, me being little toe in this thing is awesome. Like, what a cool gift. And each of us brings something really cool.
Yeah.
Especially as long as we're joining Jesus in it and
Yeah.
letting him kind of help us in our roles versus telling him what our roles should be, or which I've done most of my life. And
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to when this season of craziness is over? Like when, if life gets to settle down for you, what
Yeah, it's a
do
great
do you have
question.
sort of something you want to pour some like energy into, or a way you want to rest?
Oh, those are two real different things.
Yeah, sure.
I wish they weren't. Maybe I need to rethink that. I mean, I'm working way harder than I've ever worked when I worked for God. I'm working way harder now than I did back then.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah,
if
sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I worked for God, I was exhausted, but man, I'm working way harder right now with way more, heavy weights all over the place. But I don't feel, I mean, you know me, I would tell you straight. I
Yeah.
don't feel the weight anymore. Everything kind of feels restful, even though I'm crying through certain things and I'm going, this freaking sucks. I still feel like rest in me and peace in me.
Hmm.
So hopefully those,
Yeah.
what I want to do the next season and what I'm doing now both look like rest.
Hmm.
Um, but
Very beautiful.
it's like joy, I think those seem really synonymous. That joy is outside of circumstance. I think rest is kind of outside of circumstance.
Hmm.
Um, what I want to be doing, I have no clue. Man, I'm just getting through today, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. I know I'll be in Baltimore in a few nights, getting on an airplane that hopefully we get on. Um, I'm just my whole life I was always trying to go ahead a little bit, too far ahead on a
Yeah.
future trip, and I'm just we get good at what we practice, and I'm trying to practice staying really present.
Yeah.
So when I see what's on my agenda for today and see your name, I'm like, this is the greatest day ever. This is so great.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then tomorrow, if I get up again and you call me and you say, Tim, what are you doing today? That kind of thing. That'll be the greatest day ever. Uh,
Well, then let me rescind my question. We'll just,
yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
we'll just rescind that question. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. What are some things that are inspiring you right now?
Mm. Um, I've been making a lot of chosen jokes, so I should hold it back. I just think it's such a funny bit when Christians are talking about, did you watch that show? I'm like, yeah, I've only been watching The Chosen lately. What's inspiring me? It's just the best Jesus juke I have these days. You know, when somebody's listening to you reading, or if they tell a funny joke, it's like, oh, did Matthew say that on the show? What is inspired me? Sorry. Uh,
That's good. That's really good.
it's so stupid. Honestly, my community of people really inspires me. The stuff we're leaning into, I'm like, I I feel like I'm seeing the Bible for the first time,
Hmm.
um, and rereading that thing with a whole new set of eyes that has been crazy inspiring.
Wow.
A little not disappointing, a little uh, find the word. Um, I, no, this isn't even right, but a little sad for myself in some ways, like looking at how I've read scripture my whole life and then going, oh crap, like that may not have been the intent of that. I took that as an American, a
Huh.
Western reading Christian, but um,
Oh, yeah.
there are so many bigger things at play that were not for me. That was to a specific group of people. How
Gosh,
do I
I've
see
had
this
very
now?
similar learning
Yeah,
experience the past couple of years. It's been what has been leading you to that? How have you been discovering this
I,
stuff?
I just think our church community's been having so much fun doing this. One of my great friends, Mike Erie, is our teaching pastor, and he's always been like my favorite communicator of things Bible. Um, but we're all just kind of rethinking our thinking. If that's,
Hmm.
the classic Dallas Willard um,
Yeah,
definition of repenting is to rethink your thinking on things. And not just so we're smarter and have more content, but that it would then change and that the world around us would look different because we've rethought our thinking closer to the heart of God. Um, so that has been really inspiring to me. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, watching what doors have just opened up in this past year and keep opening up, are like, dude, that's just so inspiring. When I never opened these doors, or I quit working for God, and I said I'll never open a door again, and that's why I started writing this X. And so to see all this stuff now is like, how fun that I get to join them in this way. And again, if it goes away in a week, then it goes away in a week. But right now, I'm like, dude, this is inspiring. Just knowing that I gave up working for him, and through that whole process, now he's just opened these crazy doors that I get to disrupt Christians all over the place, invite us into a bigger story. Like,
that's so
it's just
fun.
beyond inspired.
Yeah, that's so
But
fun.
I'll just say this real quick. But I had to get to the place, at least the awareness of the place of being sober when that stuff's not happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's what these past years have been practice, almost like practice obscurity,
Hmm.
practice not doing every joke that you know how to do in a room. Um, Practice, elevating somebody else instead of just yourself. Practice just being great with the clerk at the grocery store, and that gets to be your ministry, not your silly music. Um, or whatever you think your job is, that's a ministry. I'm like, no, I'm screwed if that's my ministry. My ministry is just being a representer of the heart of God everywhere I am, in the mundane and in the freaking awesome on Jimmy Kimmel. It's like
Because there
so
were
cool.
years where there was not a movie.
Yeah, and my music was just, I mean, you were such a gift to me in so many of those years. Um, where it's like, God, I thought you really wanted to use this stuff to like help your people, and I had to be able to go, yeah, great. You're freaking God. So you can do that if you want. If it's best for your people to use this, whatever I bring, then great. Open that door. If not, man, I will just love Andy, my A&R guy, because he's such a gift to my life. My manager, my friends, the clerk at the, gas station, whatever. So I think because I had so many years of practicing that,
Hmm.
being totally content, trying to figure out what it looks like to be content in those places, then the chainsaw is like, cool. I'm not even holding the chainsaw, so how cool is that? I just get to be it
Hmm.
for a moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, that I felt like I needed to say that.
No, that's a really good distinction. Yeah. Because it's easy to say this stuff in the moment of being the cool kid on top of the
Yeah,
mountain, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally, totally,
Uh,
totally.
but it's another on the year where your record is not doing great, and you're like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what I'm
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
And we've all had
Yep,
those years, you know.
yep,
Everybody has those
yep.
years, and we usually have more
Yes,
of those years than the years where it's all going great. The truth, you know,
totally.
it's like particularly in our line of work, like you usually aren't winning as much as you're coasting from the last win.
Yep, 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 yep. I
And
mean,
that's
even a
and that's
month ago,
okay. Yeah.
a month ago, not even a month ago, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I thought we were going to be getting money from a certain place, and so I stopped kind of like doing shows for 9 months. Doesn't matter all the reasons, um, but that money didn't come, and so I mean, I have so many credit cards out right now, 0% credit cards because it's like, oh my gosh, honey, I don't know. I mean, we could sell this. I could sell this cool shirt. I could sell my book, whatever. But nothing. Book wasn't out. Music touring wasn't happening, and it's just like, man, we're all an inch away from hard and beautiful. And then this month, I'm touring, so it's like cool. I think we can pay some of those things back and Hillary's folks because they gave us the money to borrow, and then we'll see what happens next month.
Right.
It's such a funny journey of like, man, who knows? You think you're on top of the world, but you should tell that to the credit card companies. Tell them, hey, you guys, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've got a movie coming out and a book and music and yeah,
Yeah, I remember I got to play at Carnegie Hall with Stephen Chris Chapman, which was like dream come true. He was my
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just idol when I was in, junior high. I thought it was and I made the mistake of checking my bank balance right before I walked on stage, and it was red. I was like 3 minutes before we walked on. I was like, dang it, why did I do that? And I walked on for like,
Oh,
it was with the greatest show of my life,
perfect.
knowing like, well, we got negative $72 in the bank.
Yes, yes, that is
It's
so
like,
perfect.
wonder when I'm getting paid for the show.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Great show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Inch away. We're
I'll
all an inch
always
away.
remember that. That will be like part of
Totally.
my memory of that night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, this has nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but I do want to
Great,
ask you
great.
because I'm just curious. This is just a
Okay.
total change of subject, but I feel like often when I talk to you, um, there is a new guitar in your studio that you're very excited about that you want to tell me about. Is there?
No.
No. Okay.
Once again, I've sold some really great guitars
Okay.
because I did not work like I
Yeah,
thought I was going to
I
the
got
past
it.
9 months.
Yeah, yeah.
So no new
Okay, no
guitars.
new guitars.
Uh,
I mean, they come and
well,
go. That's the fun thing about guitars.
yeah,
They
you
come
know
and
the
go.
deal. You've sold, you've
Dude,
bought.
I've bought and sold more guitars. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did get a few months ago. A friend had a bass six,
Oh, come on.
and it's pretty rad.
Is it at
That
your
thing's
place now?
pretty. Yeah, it is at my place
See,
now.
there is
But
one. There
it
is
was like
one.
$350. So it was like I've sold so many guitars and just crap that I was like, you think I could just use maybe 350 of this just to get this? So I did get that.
See, yeah, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm not even like going online looking at guitars right now because it's just not good for my soul.
No, you can't. No, I'm also doing the same. I opened Reverb last night for about 10 seconds and went, nope, don't do it, don't do
No,
it, don't
no,
do it,
no.
don't do it.
Get behind me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to
Yeah,
have an
so
accountability partner for
no new
Reverb.
gear.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, mine's Facebook Marketplace.
Uh,
That's where the Satan has found um, a little hook into my soul. So, but I've been kind of away from that thing for a few months.
oh, good.
So
Good
I don't
for
know if
you.
you. It's okay. I mean, I'm just so sober.
Good for you. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I know because you're currently on tour. I mean,
Yeah.
you're like playing arenas,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
huge thing. It's wild.
We're doing it. It's a blast.
Yeah.
And yeah, the every night I get to talk to like hundreds of people. Think it's like the coolest, saddest, most beautiful gift,
Hmm.
which is completely exhausting every night
I bet.
and so beautiful. Like just talk about sober, the amount of kids that have come up to me that, this little 7-year-old girl the other night with her grandma and just lost her mom.
Oh
Somebody else just lost
gosh.
their dad. Somebody had just seen our movie and the next day, and they were like, "Oh, I love this concept. Like, I want to be grateful just for today." And next day, they found out they had stage 4 breast cancer. I mean, it's just
Jeez.
like story after story of going, man, life is so freaking hard, and God woke us up again. And how do we live in this tension? So that's been really kind of a cool gift just to me to be able to sit and not be a savior in any way, shape, or form, but just to listen a little bit and then
Yeah.
encourage. And then I had a lady the other night. People were asking about my X on my wrist, and the X stood for the Christ. I was just telling them in my line, um, which I just said on stage, but nobody listens on stage. And so I, I was telling my Christ that the X stood for the Christ, and the lady right behind her was like, "Yeah, because he's bringing Christ back to Christmas." And I'm like,
No.
"Oh,
No.
oh," and the lady's like, "Oh, really?" And she said, "Yeah, because X people want to take Christ out of Christmas, and so what he's doing is he's putting the X and he's bringing the X Christ back into Christmas." I was so happy. I wished I had just somebody else around me just to like do this like the little look over.
You heard it here first, folks. Timmons
So
bringing
it's just my
Christ
mission.
back to Christmas.
Yeah, all year round. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah,
It's like if
in
I can
in
bring,
in late March.
yep, yep. This is bull roar, people. This is manure city over here. We got to bring Christ back into Christmas. So that's kind of my mission. So I said, yeah, I put a whole movie about that. And actually, what's so cool is I don't want to show this too many places, but if you can see my book,
Oh,
you can see the X on my wrist, and it should have been called,
I'm
you
literally
know,
crying. It gives me
Emmanuel
such
X
joy.
with us. That's so great. But she came chiming in, like this the lady in the front was like, "Oh, so cool." Like, "Hey, gosh, what's your X about?" And she's like, "Well, what happened?" She just cries her way right in there. And so dang it, I wish I didn't enjoy those moments so much.
Oh,
I love them so much for
no,
so many reasons.
their gift.
But I definitely was like, actually, that's so funny. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it's really do it because the X always meant Christ. So when people put Xmas, they're actually saying Christmas. Like, how cool is that? And she was like, "That's so good." She was really agreeing with me. So it obviously things were hitting. That that great.
Dude, that's amazing.
And then I had
Man,
an interviewer recently that hadn't seen the movie or any of the things, which is fine.
yeah.
Um, but he was with Milo and I, so the guy who plays me in
Uh,
the movie, and he said he comes out and he's like, we were doing some interviews, like this press junket thing, and he was our first interview, and he said, father-son relationships. Tell us about how that influenced you guys in this movie.
oh no.
And just if you've seen the movie, people, which like 4 of you have, so it's totally fine. But in the movie, my story has like nothing to do with father son at all. Bart and his son Sam is like
No.
the whole father son thing. But Milo and I are like just I'm this lone ranger dude in the movie with no kids, and so he's like father son relationship. Tell us about that. And Milo and I kind of looked at each other like we have them. We both have them, and it was just such a good moment. We've had so many good moments like that.
That's
So, anyways,
great.
remember Christmas, people. Bring X back.
Dude, I will say, watching him be you was so surreal. I mean, it had to be surreal for you. I can't imagine, uh, pun intended, what
Yeah,
that was like for you. But like, as somebody who's, known you well for years,
yeah,
like your little mannerisms and things, like, I was like, he clearly had studied you
totally.
because I didn't even realize all the little mannerisms you have
All
until
the
I
dumb crap
watched
I do
him
in my
do
goddamn.
it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh crap, that's what Tim does.
Yeah,
It was just, it
yeah.
was so funny. He would do a little thing and I would just chuckle. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's weirder for you guys, my friends, than it is for me because I'm like I just see my friend playing and being an actor.
Yeah.
In most of the senses, a few times I got really emotional, but in most of the times it was like, oh, that's funny. Or we'd talk about a bit and he'd say, what would you say here? And
Yeah.
so, but for my friends, they're like, oh my gosh. Even my mom was like, he kind of
Yeah.
nailed it.
It's so, especially because when you've seen him in other things, you're like, he doesn't always act like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Kudos to him.
it really was wild. Like, oh, I guess actors really do act, like
Yeah, yeah.
it was wild. It was surreal. We had a blast watching it. It was fun. I got to bring my daughter Charlotte to the premiere in Nashville, and man, we had a blast. It was so fun.
I love that. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for inviting us. Well, man, this was a blast. Thank you for making time today. I know you're obviously we talked about crazy busy,
I,
but
I would
um,
like this to be a weekly, and you know that. So if I could be the like just a co-host, maybe I'll just be a co-host, just to kind of
don't
like sit next to you a little
even
bit.
threaten me with a
Oh,
good
bro,
time.
bro, that's
I
like easy.
well, let's scheme that up because
Okay, you just call me.
that would be too much fun. Um,
You know what else is fun, Andy, is I have a brand new book called Waking Up Again. That if you guys want to see, I keep thinking of the What About Bob scene. Ah, there's a groundbreaking new book. And he like goes through his whole bookshelf and it has just all of his books right there. Like, here it is, Baby Steps.
baby
So I'm
steps.
gonna
Oh my
try to do that.
gosh.
That's so good. Baby steps to
Oh,
the window. Baby steps to the elevator. Yeah,
I need to see that
that,
again. It's been so
that
long.
concept is brilliant, by the way, and I think it should have been a book if it wasn't. Just baby steps through life. You know, there's a groundbreaking new book. Right here, Waking Up Again. So, anyways, people go get that anywhere books are sold.
Hey,
You can get some new
is
music.
there? Well, I've got you. Is there like a best place to buy it that helps you out the most? That's like if people are going to
I
support
mean,
Timmons, what's the best
if
place to
you're
buy it?
like, man, I want to support my friend or this douchey guy that's made a bunch of dumb jokes, you can go to Timmons Music or Tim Timmons Music or timtimmons.com. And the book's there, and you
Okay.
can buy that. That's the way that my
Well,
family would eat.
all right. We'll send people there as opposed to Amazon
Yeah,
to buy
and
the
you can
book.
do Amazon. We're gonna do a little. We're gonna do what you did, the audio thing, audible
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So
Because yeah, I have a book too. But we're not
yes,
pushing
yes,
my book.
yes.
We're
Come
not
on, bring
pushing
it,
my book.
bring
Yeah.
it.
All right, man. Well, hey, I will. Let's hang soon. I love you, and this was a
Love
blast.
you too, dude.
Thanks, brother.
Always. Oh, there's my dog.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
want a dog, by the way?
So what?
Look at Lucy.
Oh
Anybody
yeah.
want a dog? She's right here, and she'd be totally free. In fact, I'd give. You know what? I'll sign this book right here, and you can have her. So, anyway, all right, people. Love my friend Andy even more.
See you, brother. It is safe to say there is no one like Tim Timmons. I remember the first time I met Tim. I was on stage, I think, maybe setting up my gear to play a Stephen Curtis Chapman show at Busch Gardens in Virginia or something. And I think Tim was opening that show, and he had the exact same energy you just experienced for an hour, except I didn't know him at all. And I was like, who is this guy? And I have since grown to just dearly, dearly love that man. He is a gift to me and so many other people. I've got to tell you about what Tim did a few months ago. So I've talked a little bit on here about our Anchor Hymns recording that we did in Birmingham back in February. So we took a big crew down to Birmingham in the fall to write a bunch of songs based on the prayers of the Every Moment Holy books. It was a really amazing time. Tim was there. We had about 25 writers. We wrote, I think, 40 different songs. It was really beautiful. And then in February, we went back to make 2 albums. We did a live album and an acoustic album. And Tim was a part of a few really special songs. And I asked him, hey, would you want to be a part of this? We'd love to have you there, but I know you've got a lot going on. So I knew it was a long shot for him to be there. And he was like, dude, I would love to be there. I'll do everything I can to make it. And I knew there's no way he's going to make it. But I, kept him on all the emails and all the text threads, just like, okay, here's the info, just in case. Timothy Timmons, I assume it's Timothy, had like a movie premiere or some event, he's doing all these different events in Nashville at 1:00 that went until 4-ish, the day of our live album. Nashville and Birmingham are about 3 hours away from each other, depending on traffic and everything. So Tim had this event from 1 to 4. Our event in Birmingham started at 7. And we'd been rehearsing for a few days. Tim gets in a car at like 4:15, drives straight to the show that we have already started now at 7:00. He gets out of his car at like 7:20, 7:30. I'm playing guitar. I look down. There's Tim. I'm like, holy cow. So here comes Tim, walks on stage, straps on his guitar, plugs it in. Then he basically preaches for a few minutes, says the most beautiful stuff of like the whole evening. Everybody's just sort of knocked out by how incredible what he just said was. Encapsulates the whole idea of the project in just one moment. Then he leads this beautiful song that the working title is For Those Who Weep. And the idea is, could we write a first song of a Sunday morning set, like the opening song, a welcoming song that is intentionally for people who come in on a Sunday morning that aren't stoked, people who are coming in, bringing their suffering, bringing their weeping, bringing their grieving, because we know a lot of people are. And somebody like Tim, who can carry all that stuff so joyfully, is able to guide people through that and into that. It was an incredible moment. So he leads the song just wonderfully and then stays on stage for a song that was maybe not the song he meant to. So he's just standing there playing a song he does not know, that we have all rehearsed. And he's just kind of there. And so he'll be in the video, just kind of bopping along, just kind of making up chords, being like, oh, I guess I'm in this song now. So that's going to be fun to edit those videos. And then he played on another song that he was a part of writing, but that we maybe changed a little bit. And that's the one I think he meant to stay up there for. And then he got in his car and drove back to Nashville and flew to Los Angeles the next morning, like early morning. And he and Milo, the guy who plays him in the movie, went to be on the Jimmy Kimmel Show the next day. Holy cow. Can you believe that he did that? He did not have to do that. And He never said to any of us, I'm going to LA to be on Kimmel. Not a word. Not a word. He was just like, guys, this was beautiful. You did such a beautiful job. I love that song. Oh my gosh. That was so awesome. I'm so glad to be here. I wish I could stay longer. You guys are so awesome. I love you. And then he left. Like, he only encouraged, he only hugged, thanked, just said kind things and was gone. Did not drop a name, did not brag, nothing. None of the things that he could have done in this incredible moment that he's in. He just blessed us with his warmth and presence and humility and was gone. And we get to share that gift with all of you and lots of people on this project. So that was awesome. That meant a lot to me just as a friend, and it was really special. I know it meant a lot to especially some of the younger people that are in our crew that he's really mentored and poured into to have him there. And I think that's probably maybe one of the biggest reasons he was there. That's who Tim is. You should buy his book. Go to his website, timtimmonsmusic.com, timtimmons.com. Buy the book. Check out his music. He's still on tour as we are dropping this episode. You can still catch a few of the shows. I think they've got 2 or 3 more weeks of this tour. So go support Tim. And check out the movie. It's fun to see it. Yeah, it was wild. It's wild to see which parts of the movie are accurate to the Tim that I know. Interesting to see which parts they had to change for time and to fit the story, and that was kind of wild. It's wild to see this actor that we've watched in Gilmore Girls and This Is Us, and somebody we've watched in so many shows for like 20 years play a person that you know really well and just nail all his little idiosyncrasies and the way he kind of moves his head and twists his hands and his little asides, the kind of way he throws a phrase and throws a joke. Milo did that in the movie. It was kind of crazy that he just nailed it. Actors really do stuff. I guess that's what I took away from that. Like, whoa, look what actors do. It honestly gave me a new appreciation for acting, watching someone act my friend. That was crazy. Yeah, so let's support Tim and pray for him too in this season because it's clearly crazy. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today on YouTube or wherever you're listening. It means a lot. Come on over and hang out on the Substack if you aren't. Just started a new series talking about the songwriting in the church. And I just dropped the first article, which is about why we choose the songs we do. And maybe that's more led by marketing than maybe we realize. But we're going to go somewhere with this series that I'm really excited about. If you're interested in that at all, come on over and be part of that conversation. That's also where you can support the podcast, and you can do that by being a paying member of the Substack. That actually helps support the podcast here. I would appreciate that, but more than anything, just are glad you're here, and I hope you have enjoyed this. It's a gift to make it for you. So we'll be back in another 2 weeks with a truly great episode. It was one of my favorite conversations I think I've ever had on this podcast. I'm not going to lie. I just recorded the episode at the end of last week. It was such a good conversation about parenting, but honestly, just about the way I want to live my life. And I've talked about it now with probably 15 people that I've run into. So you've got to check out our conversation in 2 weeks. I can't wait. So stay tuned. All right. For now, go do something awesome.